or submit whatever they have to, plans, engineering plans. How can it be a level playing field with them? Maybe you ought to sit down and have a gentleman's agreement and say, okay, we're kind of both tied up with these two. Let them all apply, but have a gentleman's agreement that neither one of them will get the job.
And that might be a perfect answer. But here's what happens.
You know what I fear most of all? We have a pretty good relationship with the Allen County Commissioners and with Allen County and numerous departments. I'm afraid this darn road of what, 7 or 8 miles, 6 miles, whatever it is across there, is going to maybe hinder relationships just over who's going to put the most money in, who's going to select the engineer, and hopefully there's not a big kickback coming to certain people because you voted a certain way on this. You know, you got to be sure it's done on a level field, fair, and I don't know. It's a tough call, but I can honestly say I've never ever heard any time of a kickback. So that's just out. That does not happen. okay.
It never happened as far as I know. And I don't know that it comes down to those two.
Well, maybe it doesn't,
but somebody is going to have, when you put two counties together, somebody is going to have the call as to who the consultant is. And if that doesn't matter to anybody, then I guess it doesn't matter.
I agree with you.
But consultants will come to you. They'll come to you and they'll say, do you have a consultant picked out? Because what they want, they know this happens in every county. Consultants know it happens in every county, every city. This happens in. It's just the way it is. And what they want to know is, do I take the time to make up all the paperwork to give you that book on our company for you to read so you can make that decision? They don't want to make that out if it's already, but they know that. And they go to the next county, but in the next county, they're liked, or, you know, certain people are liked because the one reason I always picked whatever consultant was, who's going to get back to you with the answers? When you have a question, who's going to get back to you? Or some of the people, they won't get back to you. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks before you get an answer. You got to call them 2 or 3 times, you know, or you find a bunch of errors on the plans or different things like that. And I think the consultant that we see and talk to is the important person every time. It's not the engineering group. The engineering group that sits back there in Indianapolis, they all have the same software. They all have the same stuff. All the plans come out the same. Every one of them does a good job. They're all good. Now, who's going to help you the most when you need help during that project? And I think that's how you decide, you know, this is who you want. And I guess I just thought I should bring it up because it's the last thing
you should.
on this project. And if everybody's okay with that, I'm okay with it too. But it's just going to be, everybody knows who it's going to be. And I don't have anything against them.
And if they have the majority of votes, they've already decided.
They exactly already have. Yep. You know, the state says, this is a funny thing. They say you go in there and you do this, do these questions from 1 to 10, and you rate. I know of examples that came from, let's say, the mayor, or came from the commissioner, or whatever, where people were rated a 3 out of 10 because the group came in suits and dresses to give them a low number. They used that as a reason to knock down that team to give it to somebody else. And what they do, they're not supposed to do it that way, but they know who it is, they know who they want, they know who they trust, you know, it's gonna do it right. So they make sure they give that group the high numbers, and everybody else one number down, one number down, one number down. Oh, you were so close. But that in real life, that's not the way that it works. And
It's a flawed process.
and whoever gets it, if they like them, it's for a reason. It's because somebody there is helping them a lot. And so they want to make sure that person gets it, and it's going to come out okay, whoever does it. It's going to come out okay.
That's what I say, is it worth hassling about to, when we look at relationship, working together and stuff, but I don't know, I'm not gonna make any more comments on it.
Yeah.
It's up to these guys, whatever they.
Well, I'm just gonna finish by saying, I think that's still down the road. And I know you weren't there, but I think one of the things that George and I said is, we're not gonna give you $100,000 60 days after we sign this contract. What'd I say, 100,000? Yeah.
101.
101. We're not gonna do that 60 days. So that hasn't even been approved yet. We said we wanted 3 years to break it out, so that hasn't even been approved, so we're not even that far yet.
Yeah,
No.
we're waiting for an interlocal between the commissioners.
Sure.
The only reason I brought up today was, it's probably going to be you guys. I mean, it was a commissioner talking with the commissioners. And if there was one more question to ask, maybe they don't care. Maybe they say, no, that's okay. It's okay if you guys have two and we'll have one. We don't care. I just thought, you know, is it okay to ask? And if nobody wants to ask, then however it comes out is how it comes out.
Is there a strong enough independent person you could bring in that doesn't know, and that our representative and their representative would get to one person that from, I don't care, either county or something?
Yeah, I think that can be done, and that's something Bill and I should really work towards, because you still don't want to pick a really sound, good group, and then have Bill give them a call at night and say, hey, we'd like to have.
Yeah.
You know, and now all of a sudden your good group has just now been shifted. It's not a good group anymore.
Right.
But that is definitely the best way if it can be agreed. Maybe you can pick somebody from a different county, you know, in there. I think it had to be mentioned. I felt like it had to be at least mentioned, and so, okay, won't say any more about it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.